You said, you said stadium. Me, I said sports. When you now looked at me, I said stadium. God.
God, I beg.
I swear. We'll cross you.
I don't remember much about my secondary school, but I know I was a lot confused after, especially when I graduated and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I applied for medicine and I didn't get in, which is like the harsh reality of a lot of science students. I did pretty well in JAMB and also in WAEC, but it wasn't enough to get me into Unilorin. So I opted to do A levels and to write a new JAMB. This time I applied to OAU. I scored 279, but I still couldn't get medicine. And at that point, I was already tired and I decided I didn't even want medicine anymore. It wasn't like I wanted the course they gave me either, which was soil science. I should have accepted it. But here are some of the lessons I've learned from the moment I graduated till now. And I'm doing this for my brother who has just graduated from secondary school. I went home for his graduation. I saw how excited he was. But, well, I've made this video to maybe admonish or advise or just let him know what the true reality is and what life really looks like from the outside. So, yeah. Regardless of what you plan, life would happen to you, but you still need a plan. This is one of the first lessons I learned, and the most important, that you are never really prepared enough for life. And at some point, it felt like a roller coaster. Like I had no control over everything going on. Because 1, I didn't like my school. 2, I didn't like my course. And to make matters worse, I was broke. That was not the plan. The plan was to get medicine, and I didn't. In fact, at some point, I lost hope in life as a whole because I was so young and so unprepared for a world filled with disappointments. At some point, I came out of my grief, stopped crying, stopped feeling sorry for myself. And although the plan I created didn't eventually work out, it paved the way for a better plan for me. The most important thing was that I didn't give up on myself. I started by teaching myself how to write better, to teaching myself how to create a website for my blog, and eventually learning web design and moving into tech. Lesson number 2. Everyone makes mistakes, even adults. You have to permit yourself to make mistakes because learning from those would help you grow. Avoiding activities will keep you stagnant. Instead, you should try as much as possible to put yourself out there. At first, I didn't want to do anything new. I'd always liked the guitar, but I wasn't ready to learn it because what if I'm not good enough? When I first published my first blog post, I didn't want to share it with anybody because what if I suck at writing? What if I'm bad at it? What if I make mistakes? And so it seeped in to my decision making. I didn't trust myself because I couldn't even give myself what I've always wanted, what I thought I'd always wanted, which was medicine. So how could I even trust myself to make decisions? But then I realized that we are not supposed to know everything, and as a result, we definitely will make mistakes. But we need to be able to allow ourselves to, make those mistakes and learn the lessons. because the lessons are the most important. Another thing I learned in my journey is to have a mind of my own. You have power over your own reality. Your life is a direct consequence of the things you choose. I'm not sure where I read it, but someone once said if you don't choose, people will choose for you. And it's hard because after secondary school, there's a chance you'll be on your own. And you won't have so many people telling you what to do, when to read, what to eat, when to eat. From that point on, it's your decision. And if you choose wrong, you can alter your state of well-being as a whole. And if you decide to give another person the power over your own choices, the person would create their own version of reality in this world that we live in. See, the way we see life is different. And as a result, the choices we make are also different. So giving somebody else the power to choose for you means giving them the power to create their own reality. In that case, you won't be happy because it's not your choice. And if things go wrong, you'll play the blame game and it doesn't always end well. Another thing I learned was getting into healthy relationships. Part of my journey was realizing that we are all wounded, some of us more than others, and sometimes those wounds are so deep that they affect others. I had to learn to choose to be with people who are good for me, good for my mental health, because not everyone is. I had to learn to identify those who hurt me and choose to set up healthy boundaries to protect myself. It's not just about romantic relationships, but friendships too, because they all have the power to alter the state of your life. Finally, fall in love with yourself. One thing I took for granted a lot was my mental health. I didn't know what it really was when I had just gotten out of secondary school. Mental health wasn't all that. We didn't really understand the concepts. But as life kept happening, I started to see how important it was to care for my sanity. Because I fell in and out of depression a number of times before I started to pay attention to my health and also trying my best to heal. Life after secondary school is not a straight path. It's not as straightforward as, secondary school, where you just have to learn for 6 years and you're out. If you are in a Nigerian university that is federal, well, you might have to start thinking about ASU strike, because that's where I'm at right now. My school is on strike, and it's almost as if my life is at a pause. But long ago, I learned that I have to keep moving, and like I said earlier on, not all plans work out, but you still have to have a plan. I think the most important thing is understanding that we cannot see the future. We can plan for it. We can imagine it. We can react to what we think might be the future. But no matter what, we only know right now. And we can only judge from the past. So, my advice to you is to take things easily, slowly. Let yourself breathe. Don't put yourself under too much pressure. Don't feel like you have to conform to societal standards. Be you. And if you realize you is bad for others, let yourself grow. And I also want to thank Dami for shooting this video for me. Yeah. Bye.